Hello and welcome everyone to the Forgotten City. Today we're going to try to see if we can find the cisterns. So water under the bridge. We finally got Dooley's key and he said it's below that temple, so it's probably around there somewhere. Or it could even be this, but that doesn't look like cisterns, so yeah. We're going to head over to the temple and see if we can find what the treasure is or something that he's supposedly found there. Okay, well I'm at the Great Temple, but I don't see anything like any way under it, unless it's like down there somewhere maybe. I don't know. Like I've been trying to kind of jump off the paths, you know, and explore a little bit, but it doesn't, the game, I mean right here it's letting me, but like most of the other places I'm like, oh, maybe there's a way around that way. There's an invisible wall, so I don't really know. You know, like I can't jump over. Hold on, like I was thinking, oh, maybe if I climb up here, but there's like an invisible wall, I can't go that way. So yeah, I'll have to do some more searching and trying to see if I can find where those cisterns are. As I've been searching around for the cistern, I noticed, or I realized I have never talked to Yulia because she was dead. Now that she's alive, let's see if I can talk with her.
Sorry, I'm still a bit out of it. Galerius just saved my life. Was there something you wanted? Lucretia says I'm supposed to rest.
Do you know of a way out of here?
I tried to escape, but look where it got me.
What happened?
I can tell you, but it's a long story.
You know what? Sure.
All right. I'd been here about a week when it dawned on me I'd be trapped here for the rest of my life. I could hardly breathe, and I knew I had to get out somehow. So when my new friend Aurelia offered me a secret way out, I would have done anything. And then I learned her asking price. 1,000 denarii. She was supposed to be my friend. I told her it would take me years to save up that much. So she suggested I take out a loan from Malleolus. And I did.
Okay, well you were thinking you would be out of here before you had to repay back the loan, right?
I'm not proud of it, but yes. I was surprised he agreed to it, to be honest. But I was so happy to have the money I didn't question it. I had to sign an agreement saying I'd work off the debt over 30 years. But I figured I'd be out of here so soon it wouldn't matter. I paid Aurelia, and she gave me her so-called way out. Do you want to know what it was?
Poison?
Hemlock.
Yep. I figured it out.
Drink this, she said, and you'll be out of here in no time. Of course, I demanded my money back, but she refused. She pointed to a sign on her tavern saying, "Let the buyer beware." Then she just looked at me with those cruel black eyes and she laughed. She immediately told Malleolus I'd tried to escape without paying him back. Only he didn't seem upset or surprised at all. In fact, he just thanked her. And that's when I realized the two of them had planned the whole thing from the beginning.
Okay, so they are both terrible jerks. Okay. Yeah, I guess that wasn't against the golden rule?
That's what I said to the magistrate. I went to Sentius and begged for help, but he said the law was clear. I'd signed over my labor for 30 years and there was nothing he could do. I thought about resisting too. But Malleolus said if I didn't submit, I'd break the golden rule. And I couldn't be responsible for all those deaths, so he locked me in his villa, confiscated everything I owned as collateral, and made me wear immodest, humiliating outfits while I worked day in, day out. His wife Claudia was just as bad. She set me to work on an endless stream of futile, demeaning tasks. I'd be on my hands and knees, scrubbing the floor clean for hours. only for her to pour slop on it and hiss, "You missed a spot." Those two took everything from me. But they forgot to confiscate one thing. My hemlock.
So you poisoned yourself.
I just wanted it to be over. But it seems I messed that up too. Should have drunk all of it.
Okay. What's your story? Let's figure out how you got here.
You mean my life story? So he found me a job as a scribe for a prominent merchant. It was a good life for a while. Until 7 months ago when the fires came. My colleagues and I worked desperately to try to protect our warehouse. We must have had 100 workers passing buckets of water, chanting prayers to Vulcan, but they fell on deaf ears. The fire was relentless and it claimed everything. My employer told me to grab what valuables I could and flee for the Tiber with the crowds. I remember diving into the river and then... the next thing I knew, I was waking up on the riverbank not far from here.
Tell Equetia or Equitius, whatever. People mentioned a memory lapse, a coin, okay.
All right.
Interesting.
Goodbye.
So let me talk to her then about that. And let's see if we can figure out the pattern. Some people mentioned a coin.
Yes, I suppose that could be something. But then most of us do tend to carry coins on our person, don't we? What else?
They also mentioned memory lapses.
That's true. I know I wasn't entirely sure how I wound up here. What else?
And they all mentioned a river.
Yes. I understand many of our friends were carried here by a river current. It's as I feared. I think I understand what poor Livia has been going through. Let me ask you this. Did you happen to encounter a stranger in the forest before you arrived here?
Yes, I did.
And did you happen to catch her name?
Her name was Karen.
I see. And was this Karen, by any chance, wearing a hood?
Yeah, she was wearing a hoodie, I guess. How could you have known?
Because I've seen her before. There's something I think you should see. I think you'd better follow me to the baths.
All right.
But don't follow too closely. We can't have people thinking we're bathing together.
Makes sense. So... Karen! Jerk. Okay, the baths are this way. Still looking for the cisterns, but hey, we got a lead over here. So let's follow this. I'm just walking along, admiring the stuff, totally not going to the baths at all. Are the baths in... Oh, I guess that is the baths. Okay. Oh, look at all these nice... Nobody's following me, right? Okay, yeah. Oh, so pretty. Oh, hey. Oh, look. Hey, there's a door here. Let's go inside. This is cool, though. I like this place. This is so... This would be nice. This would be fun to swim in. Okay, where are you going? Goodness. How far are you going? All right. Talk to us about Karen, then.
All right, you're here. You were asking how I knew the young woman you met by the river was wearing a hood. Here, look down at the bottom of the baths. It's a little hard to make out in this light. If only we could see. Oh, what a marvelous light. But do you see it? Somebody waking up by a river in a forest to find a hooded figure with a coin. It's just as you described it, only your pronunciation is a little off. The name you heard wasn't Karen. It was C-H-A-R-O-N, as in Charon, the ferryman of the dead. Charon, who, in exchange for the right coin, helps the souls of the newly deceased cross the Styx, the river that separates the land of the living from the land of the dead.
When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, but all I found was some loose change. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
There are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. But, on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were.
I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry. I take it you know what this means.
Yes, we are all dead, and this is the underworld.
I'm afraid so. It's all starting to make sense. All these people whose last memory was running from the fires toward the river. It seems none of them escaped with their lives after all. Perhaps we should be grateful they don't remember their final moments. It also tells us that the Golden Rule is the work of Pluto, the god of the underworld, and why his epithet has always been Father of Riches. I know it's a lot to take in, and you look as if you have questions, so I'll try to answer them if I can.
Why is there a golden rule if we're already dead? Like, why turn people into golden statues? Why are there so few people in the underworld?
Good question. Let's see. In the stories, Charon would always require a coin as payment for passage across the river. But that never made any sense to me. What does an ancient immortal being need with coins? In our case, it seems Charon didn't take the coins we had. He or she merely checked we had one in our possession. So, maybe there's something special about the coins each of us had on us. That might explain why we wound up here, but so many others did not.
And yeah, I take it we're all dead?
That was my first thought too. In the old stories, the underworld was where the souls of the deceased were taken. But it was also possible for the living to reach it without dying, if they were particularly fearless. So I'm afraid I don't know.
Okay, what can you tell me about Charon? How do you say that name?
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting you're not from here. If you were Roman, or even Greek, you would know these stories. Each of them is slightly different, whether the storyteller was Plato, Homer, Virgil, or Ovid. But they always involved the souls of the dead meeting a grim ferryman named Charon on the bank of a river. It was said that he'd help the new arrival cross, only if they could pay him with a coin, an obol. That's why it was once our custom to bury our loved ones with a coin in their mouths. Charon's obol, we called it. Of course, an obol was a kind of Greek coin, because we inherited this knowledge from the Greeks.
All right. Why didn't everybody recognize Charon immediately?
To be fair, the ferryman isn't exactly as the poets described, and he, she, they seem to appear to different people in different guises. You say you saw a young woman named Karen with a hood, and I once heard Kabash mention a stranger in a ram headdress named Kerti. And Rufius described meeting a stranger named Kumut Tabal wearing an eagle headdress. But whatever form this stranger took, they were always wearing a hood of some sort, and their name always began with a K sound. I suspect the only way you'll solve this riddle is if your paths cross again.
Huh, okay, so maybe I have to cross paths with her again? Alright, well, were you trying to keep this from me?
No. I mean, I had my suspicions, especially after Livia's ramblings, but I would never have figured it out without your help, I promise you.
Alright, well, that's all the questions I have.
Now that we know where we are, we have to figure out what to do about it, if we don't want to be cast into gold for eternity. We don't have much to go on, except the old stories. I remember 4 in particular about heroes in the underworld. Hercules, the demigod and son of Jupiter, Orpheus, a Thracian poet, Sisyphus, a king of Ephyra, and Aeneas, a Trojan hero. Hercules was able to leave the underworld because he cowed its god with his strength. Sisyphus and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. They persuaded the goddess of the underworld, Proserpina, to help them escape. And finally, Aeneas was able to escape with the help of a spirit guide, who led him through a secret gate. So it seems you have 2 options: to confront the god of the underworld head-on, or find a way to escape with the help of Proserpina or some other guide.
Well, tell me about escaping with the help of Proserpina or a guide.
As I mentioned, both Orpheus and Sisyphus were said to have persuaded Proserpina to help them escape, and Aeneas was guided to the exit. First, Proserpina. What we do know about her is, well, it's a grim tale. It's said the god of the underworld abducted and dragged her here against her will, forcing her into marriage. It is. The gods are a mirror image of mankind, as far as cruelty is concerned, I'm afraid. If the stories are true, I imagine she's as desperate to escape as we are. If she really did help Orpheus and Sisyphus, perhaps she'll help us too. The problem is, how do we communicate with her without being noticed by her captor? Leaving that aside for a moment, there is also the possibility of a spirit guide. I don't suppose you've come across one of those in your travels?
A spirit guide? I do hear those female statues whispering to me.
Truly? And you're only bringing this up now? Then again, I suppose you were worried I'd think you were as mad as Navia. Can you tell me more? Is it the same voice? What kinds of thing does it say?
It's always the same voice, and she's helpful, but she is a little cryptic.
Fascinating. Perhaps she's a benevolent spirit. Or perhaps you're hearing the voice of Proserpina herself. If she has indeed been abducted, it would make sense for her to speak in cryptic whispers to avoid detection. Tell me, has she told you anything that might lead you to the way out?
No, not yet.
Oh, I see. Well, let me know if you hear anything that might be a thread through this labyrinth.
Okay, why can't we just escape the same way we came in?
It's a reasonable question, but the problem is, this place is fairly well designed to keep us here. There's no way to climb up the shaft. And even if you could build a ladder big enough, just trying it would break the golden rule. We know that, thanks to the writings left behind by those who've tried.
Tell me more about confronting Pluto head-on, though.
Shh! Is everyone so blunt where you're from? That option would be the boldest, but also the only way to learn the truth about the golden rule, and maybe even put an end to it. As I said, Hercules managed to overpower the god of the underworld, but he was a demigod. Forgive my candor, but you are no Hercules.
Yes, but Hercules couldn't manipulate time or turn organic matter into gold.
Are you telling me that you can? I won't pretend to understand exactly what that means, but if that's true, then perhaps you stand a chance. So, if you want to confront him, I'll help you as much as I can. Who knows? Perhaps your name will be uttered in the same sentence as Hercules one day. But first, you'd need an audience with you-know-who, and for that, you'll need to enter the great temple overlooking the city. The problem is, the door has been sealed shut for as long as I've lived here, and there doesn't even seem to be a keyhole. I suspect the answer lies in the desecrated obelisk in front of it. I'm not sure if you noticed, but there are 4 plaques missing from its base. It looks as though somebody, or a series of somebodies, forcibly removed them, and in doing so, dishonored and angered our divine keeper. If you could recover and replace all 4 of those missing plaques, I imagine he might be willing to receive an audience again.
Okay, well, what can you tell me about the obelisks?
It's the towering stone monument with 4 sides and a pyramid-shaped head that stands before the great temple, a dedication to the god of this place. You'll find them all over Rome, but of course they were looted from Egypt many years ago. It seems one of them made its way here too, although how is a mystery. However, this one is unusual in that each of the 4 sides is decorated in a different style: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and another I don't recognize. That means you'll need to recover 4 different plaques: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and a 4th, A mystery plaque.
All right. I know I think I have some of them. All right. Well, where would I find the Greek one?
I don't know. But perhaps you should begin your search with the local Greek fellow, Georgius. His store is in the forum.
Okay, what about the Egyptian plaque?
Perhaps Kabash, our Egyptian resident, will be able to tell us. Unfortunately, he disappeared weeks ago. But I did hear Aurelia is peddling rumors about him at the tavern, so perhaps you could talk to her, or just take a look in his room.
Okay, well, Aurelia does not seem too helpful last time. She wouldn't even talk to me. So we'll see. All right, well, what about the mystery plaque?
I'm afraid you're on your own with that one. But perhaps the goddess will help guide you to it when the time is right.
All right, well, let's talk about something else. I'm ready to get started.
Right. I would suggest not discussing this with anyone. The best we can do for them is to let them remain oblivious for as long as possible. As for Livia, it seems she's been shouldering the weight of this terrible secret all this time. Perhaps it would comfort her to know she's not alone.
Okay, well, I'll chat with Livia first.
In any case, time is of the essence, so you'd best begin. May Fortuna guide you. Although you may not need her with Proserpina on your side.
I do think I remember finding a plaque kind of in the slums. I do remember that. There was like one down there. So I know where one is for sure. Wade against the current. That's a new thing she said. I don't really know what that means. So I'm going to head over there. Oh, loading. And we're going to see if we can find that plaque. And then we'll talk to Georgius and all those other people. Okay, yeah, so let's head over there. Yeah, this is where that one plaque is. I think it's right there. So I need to figure out how to get back over there. Because I can't unlock that. Yeah, here we go. Okay, I need to crouch, shoot this. Turn this into gold. Okay, here's the first oh, the Roman plaque. Okay, got that. Wonder why it wouldn't let me carry it before, because I don't have that, right? Like, I feel like I would have grabbed that. Yes, I do have 2 Roman plaques. Okay. Do I have any of the other? No, I do not have any of the other plaques, unfortunately. Darn. So I was kind of hoping that plaque was the mysterious one, but it wasn't. It was the Roman one. So, mysterious plaque. I'm assuming the mysterious plaque maybe it's in English or something, because she wouldn't English at this point in time was not a language. So maybe it's a modern one and she just didn't know what it was. Okay, Livia, I know we're in the underworld and we're all dead.
Just as the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls. But it does not notice the crowds that come.
Can I, like, speak super cryptic and all that stuff back to her? I figured it out. I know where we are.
Say it. Speak its name.
The underworld.
Then it is true. I was right.
Yes.
I thought I saw it, but when the rest of them could not, I kept thinking I must have gone insane. I had to tell myself it was true over and over again, until I wasn't sure if I was deceiving myself. I must apologize if my words seem cryptic. I'd found comfort in reciting the Metamorphoses by our great poet Ovid. He gives such an uncanny description of this place. I cannot help but wonder if he himself came here. And now we share a secret. It's as if you've lifted a great burden from my shoulders. Thank you, friend. I think I should rest.
Okay, cool. So now she's not crazy anymore. All right, so there's somebody's place I had to search. Let's see. Is it one of these? Collect all 4 stone plaques. I still need to figure out how to get to the cistern. I think it was the Egyptian one was the guy's name. Yeah, Kabash. All right, well, let me just see if she'll talk to me. Last time she was like a total jerk.
Isn't that a big, long bow? Ah, you're here. I'm so glad you decided to visit. I'm Aurelia, and I hope I'm not being too forward, but the moment I laid eyes on you, I was intrigued. There's a light in your eyes I've never seen before, a certain learning and sophistication.
All right, well, lay off. I'm not interested. You're a total jerk for lying to Yulia. Okay, don't waste your breath. Don't waste your breath. I know you're a horrible person. Ooh, if I say that, though, she might not be willing to share with me. So I'll just play along. Oh, you're as charming as you are beautiful.
Coming on a bit strong, don't you think? I take back what I said. Suddenly, I don't find you so intriguing anymore.
Good.
Let's just forget that ever happened, so we can at least do business. So, what brings you to my tavern?
Can you tell me about Kabosh?
Not for a few weeks now. Last time I saw him, he was sitting at a table with Georgius, whispering about some job. I remember because they kept looking over their shoulders as if they didn't want anyone else to know. So, naturally, I hovered. The one word I kept hearing was vanishing, and then, the next day, Kabosh just disappeared. Coincidence? I think not.
Okay, so now let's talk to Georgios, because apparently he might know something. It sounds interesting. Okay, I'm looking for Kabosh, and I heard you were one of the last people that saw him.
I knew this day would come. I do not wish to lie to you, my friend, but even discussing this matter is dangerous. Please, let us leave the live coals safely beneath the ash.
Nope, you can trust me. We're foreigners. We have to stick together, remember?
Very well, but the magistrate would not look kindly upon this, so please keep it to yourself. For several months now, I have been sneaking out at night to worship the gods of my ancestors in the temple of Demeter. Each day, I leave offerings of food in the hope that we may have a bountiful harvest, and yet the next day when I return, the food is missing.
Okay, that is kind of strange.
So I ask, who or what is devouring the food in this temple? Stranger still. Once I sat in front of my shop like the 100-eyed Argus until dawn to see if I could spot a thief going in. But do you know what I saw?
No idea.
Nothing. Nobody entered. And yet when I went to take a look, my offering was gone. It is bizarre, is it not? When I told my friend Kabosh of this at the tavern, he offered to help investigate. He went in, and to my dismay, he was never seen again.
Oh my gosh. All right, well, I'm going to head off to the temple then. Where is it, by the way?
It is the only Greek temple in the city. Head towards the baths, and it is the last building on your right.
Oh, okay. I'm off. Do you know where I could find a Greek plaque?
And in a city full of Romans you are asking me? Because I am Greek. Let me tell you something about Greeks and Romans. My name is Georgios, yes. But the Romans, they do not care. They hear me say Georgios, and they think, he must mean Georgius. Good Roman name. They do this all the time. They see us worshipping Zeus, they copy us, but call him Jupiter. They take Hades and call him Pluto, Persephone, Proserpina. I am flattered that they copy our ideas, but why must they change the names? Do they want credit for making it all up? Do they want to forget where it came from? At first, I pull my hair out. After a while, I give up, and I become Georgius the Roman. I accept the world is Roman. Plus, I have no hair left to pull. But my point is this. If you want to know who stole an old Greek name, look no further than the sticky-fingered Romans. The plague you seek was pilfered from a collection of old Greek relics by none other than Duli. He cannot help it. Like a typical Roman, he likes shiny things, especially those that once belonged to my people. And besides, it makes him happy. So I say, let him keep it. I believe he still has it with him, in his cell, just opposite the Temple of Demeter.
Ah,
I hope that our
okay.
paths cross again.
So am I gonna have to set him free though to get it? Cause like he's cosmetic jar. So that's what he takes. Dooley's in here. Wonder if I can ask him about it.
Smile on
Does he
brother.
keep it in his cell?
Hello.
Yes, we have. About that Greek plaque in your
Do you
cell.
like it? It's shiny, innit? It makes me happy just looking at it.
Can I have it?
But if I gave it to you, then I wouldn't have it anymore, and I'd be sad.
Well, what about if we trade? Yeah, what can I give to you so that you'll give it to me?
Well, if you get me out of here, then I wouldn't need it anymore because I'd already be happy. Then you could have it, and you'd be happy too.
Okay, so I gotta let him out. All right.
Like,
So I will do that, but not right now. Because, yeah, he's going to steal that thing, do the whole break the golden rule thing, and then everybody's going to have to... I'm going to have to go back in time. All right, Temple of Demeter. Yeah, I don't think... I have not been in here before. I wonder... Let's see. Examine this vase. Some kind of battle. Depicting some kind of battle. Okay... Greek statue, probably the goddess to whom this temple is dedicated. Perhaps a local Greek resident. Yeah, I know. And... Okay. I don't... Ooh, hello. What's down here? What in the world? Okay, there's some silverware. Somebody's been living... Alright, I'm gonna pull out my bow, because I don't know what I'm gonna find. Kabash, are you living down here for some reason? Of course, that would be really weird. I don't know why you would just take your friend's food and leave or live down here. I mean, somebody's been down here because there's liars and there's... Yeah, somebody is definitely down here. I mean, this looks nothing like that underworld, you know, from like the video games and stuff. Ooh. Yep, there's somebody. Okay, interesting. Been down here a long time, apparently. Alright, well, we will talk to whoever that is down there in the next episode. Guys, thank you for watching, and I will see everybody there.